Yeah, welcome back to my class. Today we want to look at thread pool. We have been looking at thread all along, right? So now I want to look at thread pool. So what is a thread pool? My simple explanation to thread pool is a thread pool is a company. You know, if you need an electrician, you can call that electrician to come to your house, work, and then you pay the electrician and the electrician goes, right? That is individually dealing with the electrician. But where you want to create a company, where you employ the electrician, you employ the plumber, you employ the IT guy, and then they come to work on a daily basis. Then when there is a task, you assign this task to them. They finish their task, and then they wait for another task. That is the concept of thread pool. So that's what we want to see. So you create a pool of thread, and then you create tasks and assign these tasks to this thread. So that is exactly the demonstration that I want to show you. Now, so what we want to do now is what? Thread pool, right? Thread pool. So this, I would say, is what? Company. So that is the meaning of thread pool. So how do we create a company? That is what I want to show you in this class. Now, Python does not directly support the creation of a thread pool, which is a company, using the threading module. But it has another type of module that you can use, which is what? The concurrent features module. So that is a module that Python has that you can use to create a thread pool. So let's see how we do that in this class. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is what? I'm going to import the concurrent features, right? So I will say from concurrent dot features, right? Import import thread pool executor. So import thread pool executor. Oh, all right. So this thread pool executor is a class in these concurrent features that we are going to use to create our thread pool. So from concurrent dot features, import thread pool executor. Then from time, import sleep, right? Import sleep. Now, I don't want to import everything inside this module. Neither do I want to import everything inside the time module. So inside the time module, I just want to import the sleep class. Now, inside these concurrent features, I just want to import thread pool executor. That is the class I'm going to use to create my thread pool. All right. So the next thing now is I'm going to create a task that I will assign to the thread that will be inside this. So I'm going to create a task. So the task I will create is define, right? Define task. And then this task will expect one parameter, which is n. Now, inside this task, I'm going to say print, I will call my format string, and I will say starting, then I will do my curly bracket, I will put n, I will do my curly bracket again. So starting n task. So I will put this in, then I will close this. Then I will say sleep. I will call the sleep method and I will supply 1 to it. This simply means 1 second. So sleep for 1 second. I'm using this sleep to simulate this task. So this one will print out starting end task. Then this sleep method is just to simulate that, okay, that task took 1 second to perform. That is what this is. Then here I will say print format string, finishing and again task. Here I will say finished and task. Then I'll cover this. Okay, so this is my task. Then here I will say return n multiplied by n. So this is just square n, whatever number I'm going to supply here. Assuming I supply 0 here, I will say print starting 0 task, finished 0 task, then 0 times 0, it will return 0, right? If it is 1, it will return 1. If it is 2, it will return 4, like that. So that is this is my task. All right. So I have imported my ThreadPool executor, which is a class that I'm going to use to create my ThreadPool. I told you Python does not directly support creating a ThreadPool from the threading module. So it's a different module that we are using. All right. I've imported my sleep from my time. Then I want to create my ThreadPool. ThreadPool is creating a company. So I want to create the company. So I'm going to call my ThreadPool executor. I will call it executor. So this is the name of my ThreadPool executor. Then I am going to use the ThreadPool executor class. So I'm going to call the constructor. That's what I will use to create it. So ThreadPool executor. Then inside it, I will say maximum worker. I will assign 3. So what this simply means is that I'm creating a company and the maximum worker in that company should be just 3. So 3 threads are the things I'm going to create. So I've created executor. This is my company, and then ThreadPool executor. Now I want to submit this task to these workers to perform. So since I'm having just 3 workers, I want to submit 5 tasks to these 3 workers. I will explain to you. So to do that, I'm going to create another variable, and I'll call it futures. Futures. Then I will create a list. So this list is a data structure. Why I'm using list is because I want my answer to come out in the order that I have submitted it. So to do that, now I have created my class. So this class is going to submit task to what? To the thread that I've created. So ThreadPool executor has created a company with 3 threads. That is what this line has done. So here I'm going to use the executor, right? Executor.submit. So I'm calling a submit method, right? From the ThreadPool executor class. So I'm calling the submit method, and I'm going to supply task, which is this what? Task. Which is this task, and then here I will say I, and inside this place I will now introduce a for loop, right? A for loop that will enable me submit task. So for I in range 5, so I'm submitting 5 tasks. So this, and then I'll close this here. Okay, this is my futures variable that I created that is going to hold. Now, what am I doing here? Let's take the example of Pharaoh, Pharaoh's dream in the scripture, in the ancient book, Bible. For example, Pharaoh had a dream, right? And Pharaoh wanted people to interpret it. So he had the magicians to interpret the dream, but they couldn't. Then Joseph came and interpreted the dream. The dream was futuristic, but the action that will be taken from that interpretation is going to create a result for that future. So that is what is happening here. And this is simply how we live our life as human being. That story of Pharaoh is actually our story. That you have a dream, and then that dream that you have is futuristic, but you have to perform task now that will put a result, that is the outcome of this your task, to be stored in that future. That's exactly what we are seeing here. What is happening here is that this executor, which we have created, is a company. Now, this company has three employees. Now you want to assign tasks to them. This is the task that you want to assign to these three employees. So you are using this company now to submit this task, which is this task. You can see this task. You are submitting it. But for I in range, this range is what? Range 5 is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is what this is. So for 0 in this I, so this I will be what? Given to this N. Then it will go in, starting 0 task. It will sleep for 1 second, just waiting. Then it will do finishing 0 task. Then it will return 0 times 0, 0. It will return it and it will store it. But this submit that you are seeing, this submit method has created a future variable, right? A future variable, future. A future variable. This submit has created it. And this future variable is going to hold the value of each of the tasks. So when the task is when this return, this 0 times 0 is returned, it will store it inside this future object. So this future object will bring it here, right? And these futures, see, this future is going from these futures. This is a variable that I created, but this submit is going to create a future variable that is going to hold the value and then store it inside this place. Now I'm using this list so that the result that will be returned will be stored according to how the tax is supplied. So the tax is given as this, and this. So 0, when it comes back, it will give me 0, right? Then 1 will be supplied to this place and it will go starting 1 task. Then it will sleep for 1 second and then it will print finishing 1 task. Then it will return 1 times 1, which is what? 1. Then it will do 2. It will return 2 times 2, which is what? 4. It will do 3. Then it will return 3 times 3, which is what? 9. Then it will do 4. Then it will return 4 times 4, which is what? 16. It will return 16. Now, this future that you are seeing, right, is a placeholder. Just like the story of Pharaoh, that future of the 7 years of famine and 7 years of abundance was a placeholder. But the action is what is going to store the result in that future. Now, if you try to print out this future, the system might probably be telling you pending, because as at the time this submit created this future as a placeholder to store the results that will be returned. As at that time, this thread might not have finished this task. So if you try to access that memory location of this future, it might probably be telling you pending, right? Now, once this is done, you now need to create a result variable. So here I will say result, and then what I want to do here is that I am going to use this future, which is the object that was created, the placeholder object that was created, future. I will use it to call a result method. result method. Now, what this line is telling me is that future object that this submit has created to store the result of each of the tasks. When you call this task and then you supply this argument to it, when it returns this task, it's going to store it in the future object that this submit has created. But as at the time this submit created that future object, the task has not finished. So it is just a placeholder. It has not heard anything yet. Now, you are now using that object to call this result method. So this result method will wait. This result method will wait for the task to finish. So the thread will finish the task and then store it inside this future object. So this result method will wait for the task to finish the job and then store the output inside this future. Then it will put it here. So for future.result, then for future in futures, which is this one. So you close this, right? So now here you say print result, then you bring this comma, result. Now this is the final output. So result will now give you what? Result, which is whatever is going to be stored here. Now, looking at my program, so what have I done here? I've gone to this my concurrent.features module and I've imported my ThreadPool executor. Then I've also come to time and I've import my sleep class. Then I create a task. This is my task. Right? This is my task that I've created. So this is the task I want the threads to perform. Now I come here. In this place, I'm creating the thread pool. So this is the company. This is where I created the company. So I'm calling this thread pool constructor, thread pool executor. Thread pool executor constructor, I'm calling it to create the company. And the company is executor. That is the company. I can change this place to company if I want. So the company is what? Executor. Now, the company that I've created has just 3 threads, which is this. Now, I am now using that company to call the submit method to submit the task, which is this task, right, to this thread. Because I have only 3 threads and I have 5 tasks, that's what this place means for I in range 5. I have 5 tasks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I'm calling the task function, the n, which is the parameter, is I. That's what I'm going to supply to it. So I'll supply this, I'll supply 0 to what? To this n. Then to come in and to print starting n task. Then to sleep for 1 second, simulating the performance of that, performing that task. Then print finish n task, which is finish 0 task. Then to return 0 times 0, it will return it. I told you this submit has created a placeholder called future. So that placeholder will hold. But as at the time this submit created it, the task has not finished. So you are using this future now to call this result method. This result method is blocking, waiting for that thread to finish the task. So thread 1 will do starting 0 task. Thread 2 will do starting 1 task. Thread 3 will do starting 2 tasks because there are just 3 threads. Then thread 1 will have to finish. So the 4th and the 5th task will not start concurrently because you only have 3 threads. So thread 1, thread 2, thread 3 will start 3 tasks concurrently. That is what this script is telling you. Then thread 1 will have to finish before thread 1 will finish, thread 2 will finish, thread 3 will finish. Then any of the thread that finish on time can now pick up the 4th task. And any of the thread that finish can now pick up the 5th task. So it will be thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, starting task 1, task 2, task 0, task 1, task 2. Then each of them that finish on time will pick up task 4 and task 5. And then they will finish task 4 and they will finish task 5. Then they will return the result. The result is kept here as 0, 1, 4, 9, and 16. Because of this list, the list is making you return the result according to how the task was submitted. So, because this feature is a placeholder that might not have held the result as at when it was created, you are using it as an object to call this result method that will now make sure that every thread waits for the other thread to finish the task. So that is what this result method is doing. So this result method for future in futures, what did I write? Is future, not futures. For future, right? Which is the future object that this submit created, this future object that the submit created, which is a placeholder in futures in this, right? Access it and return the result to this place. So you now say print result, which is a string literal. This result will now be printed. So what this one will print will now be what? 0, 1, 4, 9, and 16, right? This is what will be printed out on the screen for you to see. That's what we printed out based on this tax return. So this is how you create a company and then have thread inside it and then submit tax to the thread. And as the thread perform, the company can now close and everybody goes home. So that is how you create. So before we've been creating thread individually, but this time you're now creating thread as a company and putting the thread inside the company to perform the task. So, and to do that, you use the ThreadPool executor. So let's go to PyCharm and let me demonstrate this for you to see. And if you have come this far with me, please don't forget to subscribe and also click on the like button. Help to share the video for more people to see it. This is a PyCharm, and as usual, I don't want the script to be too long. The class is already long. So I have written the script, and this is it. Now you can see from concurrent.features import ThreadPool executor, from time import sleep, then this is the task. So here I say print task end started, sleep for 1 second, print task end finished, then return n times n. Now this is the executor that we are creating here. So you are using the constructor of the ThreadPool executor to create a company that will carry 3 employees, maximum workers 3. Now futures, executor.submit. You are submitting the task now. You are submitting the task for implementation. For I in range, I've explained this. Now this is result, future.result for future in futures. I've explained that on the board. So this is print result. Now let's execute this for you to see what the output will be. So when I execute, so you see, you can see the output. Now, because of thread operation, concurrent operation, that's why you're seeing the output this way. If I execute it again, you see how it's going to come out. See, it's coming out again, depending on how they finish the task. So task 0 started, task 1 started, task 2 started, because you have 3 threads, which is 3 employees. So concurrently, they are working concurrently. So that's why you are seeing 3 tasks started. We have 5 tasks, but 3 tasks started concurrently. Then task 0 finished before the 4th, because it's starting from 0. So 0, 1, 2. So this is task 1, task 2, task 3. This 3 is task 4. This 4 is task 5. You understand? So that is it. So you can see that task 1, which is from 0 to 2 started, then one of them finished, which is tax 0 finished before tax 3 started. Then tax 1 finished, tax 2 finished before tax 4 started. So it could have been tax 3 started, tax 1 finished, then tax 4 started before tax 2 finished, depending, because it's a concurrent operation. But the key thing is that 3 tax will start concurrently. That's what we are seeing. And the 4th tax will not start until 1 out of the 3 tasks finish. And the 5th task cannot start until 1 again out of the 3 tasks finish. It's like using a semaphore. You understand me? So that is what is happening here. So tax 1 finish, tax 2 finish before tax 4 started. Then tax 3 and tax 4 now finish. Then it will now print out the result. 0, 1, 4, 9, 16. Actually, is bringing it out in a list, not the tuple that I wrote on the board. So in a list, he's bringing it out in a list and he's arranging it according to how the tax was submitted. That is what I want to show you, as you can see in this. So this is how to create a company and then creating an employees inside the company. So if you like this video, don't forget to click on the like button. So till we see in the next class. Bye-bye.